In the heart of the Victorian Halloween town, excitement buzzed as a grand party was about to take place. At the centre of it all stood the Gothic mansion, draped in enchanting decorations, flickering jack-o'-lanterns, cobwebs spun by spiders, and glistening lights casting magical shadows. The mansion was owned by the kind-hearted vampire Lord Alaric and his ghostly friend Lady Evangeline, who were hosting the most anticipated Halloween party of the year. Inside, unicorns and dragons were preparing for a grand play on stage, dressed in glowing costumes of shimmering moonlight and sparkling stars. Outside, in the town square, fairies fluttered their delicate wings as they worked alongside wise owls and flitting bats to finish decorating. They twirled ribbons, hung spooky lanterns, and added the final touches of magic to the town's Halloween celebration. As they worked, they stumbled upon a group of witches and warlocks stirring cauldrons, brewing potions for the party. The fairies, curious as ever, asked for a little magical help to speed up their decorating. "We could use a dash of sparkle for the lanterns and a whisper of wind to hang the banners," one fairy chimed. The witches and warlocks agreed and began chanting spells, but their conversation was overheard by a group of werewolves lurking nearby. The werewolves, feeling left out of the fun, grew frustrated and wanted to stir things up. They rushed to the mansion where the quirky and busy Addams family was rushing to prepare their own Halloween festivities. The werewolves tried to share the gossip about the witches, warlocks and fairies, spinning it into a tale of secret schemes and tricks. But the Addams family was too occupied with their own party plans to listen. Feeling even more ignored, the werewolves stormed off to the town hall and spilled their twisted story to Mr. Bones, the skeleton in charge. Mr. Bones, a chatty fellow, spread the gossip like wildfire. Soon the skeleton cops, their horses, dogs and even themselves, all rattling and clattering with excitement, prepared to crash the grand party, thinking mischief was afoot. Back at the Gothic mansion, the play was in full swing. The unicorns pranced gracefully, and the dragons danced with their wings alight. The guests clapped and cheered, unaware of the trouble brewing outside. Just as the grand finale was about to begin, the doors burst open and in came the skeleton cops, interrupting the show. The werewolves stood outside the window, laughing and sneering at the chaos they had caused, but their joy was short-lived. Lord Alaric, with his flowing cape and calm demeanour, stepped forward. His voice was smooth and steady as he spoke to the guests, skeletons, and even the mischievous werewolves who now slinked inside. "There's been a misunderstanding, hasn't there?" he asked kindly, looking around. "It's important to remember that words are powerful. They can bring joy or cause harm, and when we spread stories, especially when we're frustrated or angry, we can hurt others without realizing it." The room grew quiet as everyone listened. "You see," Lord Alaric continued, "the fairies and witches were simply working together to help make the party even more magical. There was no trickery, no secrets. But because of gossip, the joy of our night was disrupted. And that's why it's so important to think before we speak." The werewolves looked down at their paws, feeling ashamed. Lord Alaric smiled warmly. "It's not too late to learn. Gossip and harsh words can be hurtful, but choosing kindness and understanding can make our world brighter. Next time, instead of assuming the worst, we should ask questions and trust one another." He gave examples of how words could be used to uplift others, complimenting someone's hard work, offering help when things go wrong, or simply listening before jumping to conclusions. Even the skeleton cops nodded in agreement. The werewolves, humbled by the lesson, apologized to everyone. The guests forgave them, and soon the mood lightened. The play resumed, more magical than ever, with the werewolves joining in to help make the rest of the evening enchanting. By the end of the night, everyone had learned a valuable lesson that spreading rumors out of frustration doesn't bring happiness, it only brings harm. And with a bit of kindness, patience and understanding, the magic of friendship and community can shine brighter than any spell. As the moonlight bathed the Gothic mansion in its glow, the guests, fairies, witches, warlocks, unicorns, dragons, and even the skeletons danced and laughed together. Halloween had never felt so magical, and the lesson of the evening would be remembered for many Halloweens to come. And so, in the heart of the Gothic Victorian town, they all lived happily and harmoniously ever after.